Okay. I hit the wrong tab.
Of course you did. He's still holding his load. Hurry.
I know, right?
This is Amigospc. If you were looking for a highbrow, fancy, smart, regal podcast with hosts that love to talk about horse riding, badminton, and trips to the vineyard, you're in the wrong place. This is Amigospc. If you're looking for drinking, random nonsense, stunts, shenanigans, and balls-out craziness, you've hit the jackpot. This is Amigospc, and this is Scott and Mark.
Hello, hello. Am I starting this?
Yeah.
I guess so. Today's episode is brought to you by Restaurant.com. With Restaurant.com, you can save thousands at restaurants across the country for just a few clicks. Their dining deals range from $5 to $100. They never expire and cost you a fraction of the face value. Dinner has never been easier with Restaurant.com. Use your dine-in, takeout, or delivery. Restaurant.com is offering our listeners 50% off their next purchase go to restaurant.com/podcast. That's restaurant or www.restaurant.com/podcast for 50% off your next purchase for the best deals every meal. And let's go.
That was like half an hour quicker than our last read.
Was it the same one last time?
Yeah, with our last episode.
Really? Wow. Well,
Bobby Del Rio joins us on this episode. Bobby, can you give us a little bit of insight of you and what you do and how you do it, if you do it?
And how you do it?
I said that.
Yes.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
Let's see if we can do the whole podcast just making noises.
Ooh, ASMR. I like it.
I know you do.
My name's Bobby Del Rio. I'm here in Toronto, Canada. I'm 42 years old. I'm here in the film industry. Really should be more successful than I am, which is probably not a good way to start the podcast. But I've done a lot of stuff. I've acted in a lot of stuff, and I just wrote and directed a feature film called The Market. That's on Amazon Prime in the U.S. for you guys. I've been a playwright, screenwriter. I get in a lot of trouble accidentally. Like all the time. Like if I try to write something on Facebook and I'm like, this will get me a bunch of likes. I'm gonna be, like the Donald Trump heel, and then I'll say something, I'll get like 2 likes, and I'm like, fuck. And then I'll just like say what I think about. So like I think I said, my spirit animal is a 14-year-old girl, and I just meant it like. Just sort of a casual and then I started getting viciously attacked by multiple people for insulting the Aboriginal peoples of Canada. I was like, for liking Twilight? like this is just my life, right?
What do they say though? No publicity or bad publicity is good publicity, or there's
right?
no such thing as bad publicity. Or am I wrong?
Or have you found that that's not the case?
People get so angry, like it's good, I guess. But like very innocently, I create controversy constantly, and then if I try to create controversy, it's like people are like, yeah, right, buddy, we don't buy it. Like if I was to say something about the election, something political, it's like, yeah, whatever. And I remember I wrote something like, I love you all on Facebook, and someone's like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Wow. And
I felt moved.
This is like my life,
I loved you.
Wow, they just follow you. It seems they just coming after you.
I don't know what it is. It's a very weird thing because I find the more genuine and kind I am, the more people want to just throw donkey shit into my face.
Nice.
And it's like if I, try to get the donkey shit, like, oh, this will be good for me. it's like it has to like authentically, sort of you have to earn the donkey shit
Right.
by being nice.
Do they think you're coming off as being like sarcastic? Is that why they're so like, or are they just?
I have a theory.
Probably
We have
trolls
time
that are
to
just
get into it if you want.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yes.
No, we have
My theory is this. My theory, because I have a pretty good reputation in the industry. I've been around for 2 decades. I've had a lot of people get and cultural, and I've done a lot to help the community, and so I have a very like tolerant, sort of message from like that's why even with stuff right now. For me, it's like you vote for Trump, you vote for Biden. It doesn't. I'm not going to hate you for, it. I wish there was a bit more of that because I just think ultimately we're all human beings at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, some of
so
us.
I'm really just, yeah. Look, some people, I think take things.
I'm plugged in, right?
Yeah.
Less like we just get along like at the end of the day. And that's why fucking hate me.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm like, hey guys, I see both sides. Yeah, you would see both sides, you scum.
We don't usually get into politics too much on the show, but you being in Canada, have you been watching what's been going on and what's your insight looking from the outside?
Yeah, and I do a weekly podcast called on YouTube where we talk about politics all the time. It's funny because we're Canadian, but we end up talking about American politics because we may even consume more American media than you do.
It sounds like
it's probably true because we, a lot of us tend to not even
pay attention
or try not to just because it's either one-sided, it seems sometimes, and it's crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, Canada has such an inferiority complex with the United States that I think that overcompensate or something. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like we're like those Japanese tourists, that stereotype. We're like USA, A-okay, like we're like.
Even though we constantly shit on Canada, like I can't think of a time where most people don't make fun of Canada in some way, especially when it comes to politics, because a lot of the red here thinks it's like what Canada is wrong. Like everything about it is wrong.
Right. Right. Well, we think the same thing, so
complete. Yeah, I hate this. Yeah,
get along.
That's true.
Oh yeah, Canadians hate each other more than Americans could hate us. I mean, we have just a level of insecurity here. That's why it's like we're kind of like the little brother, and we look at the United States as like the big brother, and it's like you can slap us in the face, and we're like happy to get the attention. Thank you.
Yeah. That's a good way. That's a good way to look at it.
He knows my name.
Yeah. He's the middle child. They're the middle child.
The middle child, yeah. But they're not that crazy because middle children are normally the crazy ones for the most part.
Yeah, or they're like the
I would
silent
say little
ones,
brother. That sounds probably more right.
I will say from the Canadian perspective, I mean, I think that it's just the USA is just a very different country from Canada. Like we really are like the stereotypes. We're pretty polite and like kind and weird. No, this isn't to say that aren't like we're very passive aggressive in Canada.
Okay.
You don't really get like insults, but you just like maybe somebody will say sorry, but they may not quite mean it.
Oh, like bless your heart,
but really fuck you kind of thing.
You have to interpret silence in Canada.
Yeah, okay. So it's kind of like that Texas charm, that Southern charm that they have.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Where they know how to call you.
Depending on the kindness of strangers.
Yeah, exactly. They really.
That's how we speak in Canada. This is my Canadian accent.
Wow, that's the real. Wow, we're getting it all today.
I know, right?
Man, we're learning so much. Sadly, before we got on, we had to find out. This is going to sound bad. We were looking to find out where in Canada you were.
So we failed geography when we were in.
Yeah, so we were thinking. All right,
this is great.
You're up near towards the Washington side. We're thinking, right? But I had to pull it up. No, you're near the New York side of things. Wow, yeah. So we're both retarded. So we're special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Bless
sometimes
your
in
heart,
Canada we get
Scott.
very offended, but then I'm like, if I was in the U.S., like, why would I know where Toronto is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I've never been to
I'm a
Canada.
big sports fan. Like, where? I don't know. I
Yeah,
have no idea.
it's true.
Why would you know? I mean,
Yeah.
look, it's like I know where LA is. I know where New York is.
Yeah.
I don't even really know where Arizona is. I'm like,
Yeah,
I think
no.
it's near California.
Yeah. Yeah. We're right at the border of Mexico. Not us, but that's where we are. Arizona is. When
We're
you think
a
of
couple hour drive.
it. Yeah. So
Few hour drive. I'd say like 3.
yeah.
Right?
So, you know, Arizona, I think of Phoenix. I think of the Phoenix Suns. I go Steve Nash and
Yeah.
Charles Barkley.
Yep.
I mean, you would know Steve Nash, right?
That's true. Canadian.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. No, really.
that was probably when the last time we started, when we were watching the Suns or when we were Suns fans, is back when that was going on. Them and Steve Nash and Amari.
Yeah.
Was
Amari
there?
Cooper. Oh, it's such a good team,
Yeah.
dude.
No, Amari Stoudemire.
Amari Cooper.
No, not him.
Oh, football.
Throw a little
See,
bit of NFL in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Throw it in there. Amari Stoudemire.
Well, he could probably play for them now. They suck.
God, I know. Yeah.
No, it's one of the worst. I can't even sit
That's
through
why
a
we
team.
don't even watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Or a
both of
game.
our teams.
A team game.
And they're, yeah.
Are you
it
guys in
sucks,
Phoenix?
Well, we're just we're in a
Yeah.
suburb of Phoenix.
basically.
It's like on the outskirts of Phoenix, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
You got Kyler Murray, though, right?
We do, yeah. Our Cardinals
that
are actually
guy-
doing pretty decent this year. I haven't been watching
That
a whole
guy's
lot.
true, man.
I'm pretty surprised that he can like jump and then throw the ball over the offensive line. I mean, someone that's 4'8"
Yeah, it's
playing
doing so
football, it's just amazing.
Much. Yeah. It's a treat.
But you got to figure he's probably been doing that his whole life, right? I mean, I'm sure he's been this sort of undersized QB ever since, you know, grade 7, high school. So he probably just mastered the jump throw or whatever he calls it, you know.
The Doug Flutie.
The Doug Flutie.
The Flutie throw.
I remember I was at I play basketball. Not I was pretty good, and I would just, you know, I'd play at the Y, and I would see this guy wearing a weighted vest, and I don't know if he was like prep school or something, and he would do this weird thing where he practiced like 10 feet behind the 3-point line, doing these series of dribbles and then shooting a 3, and the guy would hit it like every single time.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, he's like practicing that because he's going to do that in a game. He's going to do this like 3 dribble spin hit, and you would never think that he would hit that shot because it looks ridiculous, but he's practicing it. Like I bet you Kyler Murray's like practicing that all the time.
I wonder if he uses like trampolines to like
To practice
you
and
know,
then
spring his legs up or work those
Oh, yeah.
muscles.
it's probably true.
I only
smart.
say that I'm just joking. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't have some token move where he like jumps and throws the ball, but he's like 5'3", 5'4", 5. He's not
Maybe
very
5'5",
tall. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
3'2", and
He's a small
it's
dude.
just funny that he's, you know, a smaller quarterback. I've always constantly made fun of him.
Yeah.
Being he got drafted.
Yeah.
And it's
But
just
been-
crazy that-
but it's been working so
I know.
far, so you can't really. I guess
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
see once he gets really hit.
Yeah.
You know, like one of those big.
So
hits.
this is a perfect example of as a Canadian, you're consuming more media than we are because I wouldn't have thought to bring up the Cardinals or I can't even fucking say his
Kyler
name.
Murray?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kyler Murray. But you did because of Amari Cooper. But
Stoudemire. But
I mean, I'm a little bit of a different case because I've been like a sports writer and I worked for like companies in the United States. So I was even invited into the Yahoo Friends and Family Fantasy Basketball League
oh wow,
when I was a
okay.
columnist. Yeah, so I finished second place in the world in this league of fantasy experts.
Do you ever do any?
I may consume more sports than most people, but for example, we have the Toronto Argonauts and the CFL, which is the Canadian Football League, and I don't even care, but like I know the NFL like pretty well, you know.
yeah,
So that would be something. Do most Canadians watch more of CFL or do they watch NFL? Or I guess it just
Nobody watches the CFL.
Really? Wow.
Nobody. Like for example, because I've often lamented that we don't have an NFL team in Toronto because it would do really well.
Yeah.
Fan base. But the reason that we don't have an NFL team is that it would completely decimate the CFL. Like the CFL would fold immediately if that happened, and yet I would still be down to get that NFL team.
So it seems like the CFL is like the WNBA. Like they get participation trophies and they're funded maybe by the NFL. And then I'm just that's a conspiracy, not a conspiracy, but it's a wild guess.
I think that's
probably
it's an accurate comparison. We have this thing called the CSAs, right? The Canadian Screen Awards, which are essentially the Emmys and the Oscars combined.
Okay.
In Canada, because basically nobody watches them, so they're like, okay, well, if we combine the Emmys and the Oscars, then we'll maximize eyeballs and we'll do it for the whole week. Like, it's actually a smart idea. Nobody watches anyway.
Yeah.
But like, everyone throws Oscar parties. This is Canada.
Yeah.
You've gone to this then, the Canadian Spirit Awards?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Canadian Spirit Awards.
Nice.
Yeah, that's basically what they are. Right?
So, do you have any type of crazy stories from that at all, or
any crazy celebrities or anything that's took place through any of that?
No,
it's
so boring. Like we want it. We'll hear like Lindsay Lohan. Oh my God, she showed her vagina again, and she's drunk and vomited on the director or something, And here it's like in Canada, he showed up 5 minutes late. He did call in advance, but don't do that again.
Wow. Yeah.
He's walking around saying, sorry. Here's some Canadian bacon.
Sorry, buddy.
No.
I mean, it's kind of true.
That's awesome that we're getting our stereotypes just right on, I guess.
It's like, I mean, we're a very multicultural society. We're very advanced technologically. We're very educated, all that stuff. But ultimately, like, it's a very nice place to live because even when people hate you, like, they don't tell you.
Nice. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about your neighbor coming after you, which you'd probably fear that here, I would say.
But it's a weird thing, right? Because it's like if you email somebody and let's say it's, I don't know, a girl you want to date or somebody you want to do business with, and they just don't respond, you automatically interpret that to mean go fuck yourself. And you don't say anything. But then 4 years later, they'll be like, oh, how come you didn't email me? And I'm like, I emailed you. You told me to go fuck myself. And they're like, oh, it must have gone to my spam folder.
Oh, sure. I think that happens here,
like,
though.
Everything is unsaid here. This is one thing I admire about the United States.
Disconnect.
Everything is said. You know where people stand.
That's true.
Right? Because they'll burn your house down.
Yeah, that's about right. I mean, there's definitely crazy things that go on here for sure. But I think we have a little bit of that, too, as far as some of the people don't say things as much, or they'll just stay inside. Like, there's really not a whole lot of neighborly things in some places, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of just you go home and, you pull in your driveway and you kind of run in before you see your neighbor.
Yeah, that's a good example. My father-in-law knows my neighbors better than I know my neighbors. Because I refuse to talk to them.
He just goes right into his house.
Yep. In the driveway, in my house.
But see, in a way, that's refreshing, because in Canada, like, everybody's pretty full of shit, right? So everyone is nice and polite, like, all the time, right? Like, I'm sure even the gangsters doing drive-bys are like, sorry about this. I'll call the cops for you,
Yeah, I'll send the ambulance. They're on their way.
But I think it also breeds a bit more resentment, because it's like our national sport is hockey, which is, like football with sticks, right? Like, if you could make football more violent, it would be hockey.
That's true. I
think it's just this way to, like, get out the tension.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't understand why rugby isn't more popular, because if you think about it, rugby is kind of like football and hockey.
Without pads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there's no ice, but essentially they get to fight on the field. Like, they're fighting for that ball.
Yeah. Very true.
And well, you tell me. I mean, it just seems like why? But again, I think it's sort of like how the NFL would destroy the CFL. Like, I think rugby would take business interests away from the NFL.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the NFL is such a moneymaker. Like I think it makes way more money than the NBA.
For a nonprofit company, you're right. It makes
it's definitely number one.
I almost thought he said the WNBA.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't know why I thought that.
You're still you got
still
your
on
hook.
it.
He has his jersey on right now. It's underneath his shirt.
Yeah.
He's wearing it.
I'm not even. Oh, I'm wearing the shirt
He's
you
wearing
gave me.
your Mercury.
Not our shirt. Damn
I
it.
know. Don't talk about the gifts I give you.
Oh, that's right. Shh. I know our gay relationship
I know.
off mic.
It's being brought into everything.
What is your relationship? Are
We-
you guys together?
I just
Well,
met this guy actually.
This
is
our
our
first
episode.
first episode.
First
Which, it's crazy. I think we're nailing it though. You're Mark, right?
Yeah. What was your name again?
I don't know. Scott.
Oh, that's right.
Scott.
Like, what is it like down there? You know, we're only learning all this information through the media. Although it's like I do this political podcast every week, and so I watch right wing and left wing media. I'm not nonpartisan, not Canadian, so I wouldn't be part of either of those parties anyway. But it just seems like you get completely different news depending on what you watch.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I will say this, though, because I've been with the election going on and how everything's kind of spanning or going, it's laying out for everybody to watch and view.
Yeah.
I will say that CNN has been the most unbiased in how they're doing the calculating the electoral votes, giving credit where credit's due, telling, what Trump is doing wrong or right or, things like that, or essentially just saying where the votes are and what the process is.
Yeah.
Like they're being very clear and trying to get the clear and right answers from like the secretaries of state and things like that. On the other hand, Fox is calling states, which is hilarious. They called a red state blue extremely early, and now it's coming down to the wire, and we don't even know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And they're fucking up left and right. So it's like, I would say that I commend CNN right now for the way that they're kind of just broadcasting the election in general.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I saw was the Fox version or the Fox thing of Arizona, basically us being here, where they basically called it early and it said it was blue, and then there was still there was still like 30,000, or that was only
600,000.
It was like 70% done when they called it, and then now they're saying today there's still 450,000 votes that haven't been counted. So it's like, really. We don't even know. We won't know until tomorrow. At least that's what they're saying. Who knows if it doesn't roll into Monday or
they
who
said,
knows?
And that's another thing that's really funny about this entire thing that's laying out. They're like, hey, we should be done tomorrow, and we'll have a final answer for you. Georgia and Arizona said that. And then late last night, around midnight our time, Secretary of State got on with CNN. This is where I saw it. And she's like, well, we hope to have Maricopa County done by tonight, but all the other counties are just going to continue counting, and we'll update at 7 p.m. every day until they're done. And that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So
it just seems so confusing. I mean, what's it like to live there? Like, how can you trust anyone? It seems everybody's full of shit, and then everybody hates each other, and then what's going on? Like, everyone's got a gun too. I mean, what the fuck?
I mean, we have a gun.
Really, really.
Yeah, it's a very eggshell situation. I would say. I mean, you want to be know what's going on around you.
No, it's perfect. It's actually perfect. We have a group chat among friends. There's 5 of us, right? Me, you, Troy, Skulls, and Albert. Yeah, 5 of us.
Yeah.
3 of us, on paper, maybe Democrats, but in reality, we're really liberal when it comes. Like, we're libertarians. Like, we don't pick a side. We just, it's paper wise, we're forced to be.
I'm the same. I'm a libertarian.
So, but 2 of them are like hardcore Republicans.
Yeah,
and it's hilarious because this entire time while things are rolling out, we're throwing memes at each other, and as it starts to pan out, Arizona's blue. They're having a meltdown, and we're like, "Dude, it's just the votes. Let it happen." And it's just funny to see, like, the Reds, the red hats are like having this ultra meltdown like little babies.
Yeah.
When Obama, no, not Obama. When Trump won, did we like throw a fit? Did we like talk a bunch of shit? I can't recall if we did.
Yeah, I didn't even. Not to sound like it. I didn't really care. You know what I mean? I mean, this year has been more kind of crazy, and there's been the craziest turnout ever, and we still don't know what's going to happen. So it's like, I just want it over. Honestly, that's my thing. I want it over and done with. Whoever.
I think it doesn't matter at this point.
I don't really care.
Yeah, to me, it's like a whole country of Boston Reds.
Yeah, that's perfect.
You know, like I'm just here. You know, I just want to watch some baseball.
Yeah.
You know?
It kind of is. It kind of.
And I'm getting my information in the media, but you have to pick. You have to pick your team and support your team.
See, and that's the problem too. Is that you're making it all. You know, it's trying. They're trying to. Both sides are trying to make it so tribal to where you're only on that one side. And it's
dude. So since they've been counting, every time Joe Biden has come out, he has said, "We." Like I'm here for the American people. We are trying to make America great again. I am here for.
I don't think he said that, but.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Great, he didn't say that, but
his line.
But he keeps saying we, like we the people, essentially. Like, but every time Trump comes out during all of this unfolding, it's me. I'm great. I won. It's always me. Right. Am I getting that wrong?
I mean, I think that's right. I mean, you tell me you guys live there.
No.
Not me.
Yeah. Well, you and your political podcast, and then you watch more American media than we do, so I figured you would know more than we would.
Well, you know, it's funny because in a way I'm kind of like a bit of a referee, right? It's like I'm the umpire watching the baseball game, and I don't know, you know, like I just think that people just really want to support their teams. And I think it's really difficult to know who's winning because kind of like both sides make a point. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I guess it's like I get that he's saying we. Like I think that means he's trying to like bring people together. But then it would be like the Yankees saying, "Hey, Red Sox fans, you can also cheer for our team." They're just going to tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, they are.
That's true. Yeah.
Because it's so people are so deeply committed to their teams.
Yep.
That like, how can you bring together in that kind of people together in that climate? You know?
Maybe I'm also having a hard time trying to see how we can't bridge the gap because I'm not a full-fledged Democrat. Like I'm not. I don't bleed blue or any of that stuff. So maybe that's why.
You can see it from both sides, and that's how kind of I am. I see both sides. So I see, one side which is what libertarian kind of is, right? You see one side of things that makes kind of sense, and the other thing. All right, well, you guys are too crazy with that. Yeah. That's where it's like there's got to be that middle ground is what I think it should be, but everyone likes to go one way or the other, it seems.
This is the most political episode we've
ever had.
Ever.
All right. I'm sorry. I'll never be invited back.
No,
you're good.
You brought it out.
You did.
Thank
you.
So thank you. Thank you for that.
But, I think the reason that I can have a political podcast and talk politics with anyone is that I don't judge anyone.
Yeah.
Like, I remember there was a guy who on Twitter, and he was advocating for ethno-states, and I'm mixed race. I'm half Chinese and half Italian.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
But I just, I like the guy, right? So I just made a joke about it, right? I was like, well, can I join two ethno-states then?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is before we got on and I sent you the link, I said to Scott, I'm like, I didn't know Italians were in Canada.
Yeah.
Well, he's close. We found out it's close to New York. So
yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's pretty close.
We breed wherever we can breed, believe me.
So what are your connections to the mafia?
Yeah. Who do you know?
Well, we can't talk about that.
No.
He's in witness protection.
That's true.
But if you need
Canada
something,
protection.
You let me know.
You got the maple hookup, maple syrup.
If you need back bacon, you need some moose meat, but like the good stuff.
Good stuff.
No, we need some like good like pastrami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, does it come from there? Yeah. I didn't know that. I'm learning things today. Learning maps.
Canada's actually like incredibly, especially Toronto where I am. It's like one of the most multicultural cities in the world.
Okay.
Yeah,
so like over half of the city identifies as like non-white. So we have every culture in the world represented here. So it's actually amazing food. Like we have every kind of culture and ethnicity. That's why a lot of sports people will come to Toronto and do really enjoy it because it's such a multicultural flavor. It's a very actually tolerant place. Like there's a lot of different people. Like I don't know, Torontonians, we really do get along with Americans quite well, I think.
There's a big comedy presence there too in Toronto, isn't there? Like as far as a lot of good comedy clubs, and I mean obviously in the COVID world it kind of sucks these days, but it's I hear that's also a good spot for that, and a lot of nightclubs. And
What's a good Toronto comedy club?
I don't know. Don't put me on the spot.
There's Gary Rideout. He owns this place called Comedy Bar, which is like one of the hot spots for comedy in Toronto, and sort of the next generation of comedians all come out of there. And I think he's working with Second City now. I think he's one of the main producers over there. We have like Toronto GTA. Maybe we've got like 4 million people or something. Like it's about the size of Chicago. I think I heard something like that.
Yeah, I mean Phoenix is about that same size.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, so it would be like a decent mid-sized American city, but it's the capital of like Ottawa's the capital, but it's like Toronto's really the main place to go for like business and culture in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like if you went to a different city in Canada, it'd be a different experience. It might be a little more, of the back bacon, snowshoes kind of thing. Toronto's like a pretty...
Now, when you say back bacon, do you mean Canadian bacon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. We're learning more things.
Yeah, more things.
Would you
got the slang now.
Yeah. Wow. So you were learning so much. Do you consider would Toronto be like the New York, like a New York City of Canada?
Very
you would
much
think.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like Vancouver's like the LA. Like it's a little more laid back. There's more nature.
Vancouver is the.
That's what you were thinking.
Yep.
Yeah. So
West
Toronto's like New York. Toronto's like business all the time.
Hustle bustle.
Yeah.
Right. But you mentioned food though, and obviously we're huge lovers of food.
I'm gonna diet.
Okay, if you say so. Do you have a favorite place that you like to go to? Is there a favorite kind of food that you like?
So I'm half Chinese, but I really like Korean food, and I live near Koreatown.
Okay.
So I get like authentic Korean food, and like I eat Caribbean food, and there's Chinatown and Italian. And like when I say every single culture is represented in Toronto, like I really do mean that, right? Like
you're not.
I've had really good Somalian food, like really like niche cuisine. You could find anything here.
Yeah, so I would think of that like
I would
New
be
York.
in heaven. I'd be like, let's try this place. Let's try that place. Let's try. What's your
Guys,
favorite?
if you ever come to Toronto, be my guest. I'll take you around.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah,
see?
cool.
He's got that southern hospitality
road
right
trip.
now.
Yeah, well, that means
he's like, come to Toronto.
That means he's saying fuck you. Then
Yeah,
that's what it means.
Yeah, don't come up.
He's saying
Right.
don't really
Yeah.
come. Fuck.
Damn it.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Quit. See the
what that means.
Americans rubbing off on you.
Yeah.
Which that happens
If
later.
you ever find yourself in Toronto, let me know. I'll take you around. There's a really good restaurant in Toronto.
Okay, but what's your favorite? I know you're Italian, so I'm pretty sure you may. I don't know. I'm assuming you to default that way, but like your favorite hard salami. What's your favorite kind of food?
Well, look, I love Italian food and I love Chinese food. What I say is I'm a stereotypical Chinese Italian.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes
wow.
sense.
Yeah. Tell me more.
So you like salami in your pad thai?
Yeah, well, pad thai is Thai.
Oh, that's right. Damn it.
Go fuck yourself. But
oh, you're Singapore chow mein fun. I don't think that. I mean, that's what I get from my Chinese place, but.
You know what's funny? I was raised in like an Italian neighborhood my whole life, so I didn't even know anything about Asian culture until I graduated from university. And it's funny. So my favorite food right now is Korean, and it's so different from Chinese cuisine. But for me, they are both Asian, but it's so different. So I find it very exotic, actually.
The spices.
Which is why I like it.
Yeah, I mean the closest thing we get to like any kind of true Korean here is like I wouldn't even say this is true Korean, but it's Korean barbecue. Like they'll do like the barbecue tips or things like that, and it's not real Korean. So here, at least in Arizona, like we don't know. You go to a Korean place and essentially you're just getting regular food.
Yeah, look, Korean barbecue is sort of like the McDonald's of the Korean community.
It's the McRib.
That's coming back, by the way.
But like Koreatown is like, like there's 50 restaurants offering authentic Korean food, and every single place is great.
Well, I used to work for a big bank here in the United States or Valley, whatever. Yeah. But they paid for me to go to New York for a month for training purposes one time, and I actually spent like a good day in Chinatown in New York, Manhattan, and that was awesome. Like you could just walk. Well, like Little Italy and Chinatown like kind of intertwined because it's like two S's that involve each other.
That's where Bobby's family met.
Oh,
that's where they met.
Yeah, that's where they met. Nice.
Oh, there you go, Mom.
Where Little Italy.
Yeah, and Chinatown met
at the corner and fell in love.
Wow, beautiful love story.
See, I knew we were going to pull that out.
I know. I love it. That's great.
But it was good, though. You're sitting there, you get to try this like nice, authentic Italian place, and then you're going to try all these Chinese food. China food. Hey, it's the China virus. This is where I found it.
Yep.
No, Chinese food, and you actually try.
I'm worried now because Trump keeps talking about all this China virus shit, right? And then Asians get it back. So I'm just like, well, you're going to get it back.
That's funny that I went there, but either he did too.
Oh, no,
he caught it right away.
How can you not?
That's awesome.
And he says like the Chinese. He just says like it's like a bit like he's eating shit. So he doesn't say it's not like a slur, but it is right.
Yeah,
eating shit.
The China virus. China.
So true.
Virus.
China.
And it's like, oh, we got it.
Yeah,
we got it. China. China. Makes like a fucking weird face. No, I'm like, fuck, man. And look, here's the thing that's scary. He might even be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm half Chinese, man. Chinese people are fucking crazy, man. Like, if anyone's going to come virus to, like, kill half the world, it's China.
Yeah. I mean,
we're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's try.
Well,
billion of us doesn't matter.
Isn't China like they're all about like power and power plays, right? Like that's an ultimate power play for them to do is hey,
create something that they can control and then take out people.
Trump is already fucking
China like blocks Google.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean? They
which might be a smart way to
card.
do things though. Sometimes because how they seem like they're controlling where we look and things. When I watch that whole documentary on.
Oh,
well,
yeah, what is social
it's funny,
dilemma?
But if you look at what's happening in your country right now, it's like that's happening with Twitter and Facebook now, right? They're kind of like learning the lessons from fucking communism.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, yeah, maybe we should just not let people access information.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're basically stopping you from reading things and you can't post things. And it's kind of like, okay, that's kind of weird.
So should we just be able to post whatever we want?
Good question. I say yes. Because I don't use it anyway. So
here's my is that how do you know what's true and what's not true?
Yeah, that's
like, does that mean now all the flat earthers you have to block all of them from posting? Like, and also like the media is bifurcated in the United States, right? Very different perceptions of fact, so that. So, sometimes people aren't wrong, right? They're just seeing the same information from a different perspective.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah.
So it's like social media is a guideline, right?
Right.
So social media gives out it shows hey, here's my guideline, but then people can interpret that guideline differently.
And then they get mad, or the social media gets mad if you steer it one way too much.
Yeah,
is what I think. Maybe
okay. So here's an example of like the fallibility of Facebook censorship. Right? Is that a good friend of mine, Megan Larson? Like we've co-written a web series called The Cult that we're going to be launching in early 21, how basically, you know, the entertainment industry is a cult and everybody's full of shit, but it's hilarious, right?
Nice.
I'm going to get in a lot of trouble. It's fine.
Can't
Totally
wait.
fine. But, okay, so we were like really good friends. And so I ended up calling her a bitch on Facebook, and Facebook stopped me from calling her a bitch.
Wow.
Hate
Right?
speech.
It like a box came up and it was like, this has been being offensive. And so I was like, oh shit. So I deleted it. And then she replied by calling me an asshole, and it was fine.
Oh.
And I was like, what? Why is it I can't call her a bitch, but she can call me an asshole?
To me, aren't those okay? Would you think those are both equivalent to each other? Because I do. I think an asshole is a dude to a bitch. Or do you
You
think?
see what I'm saying? Like it's almost like a stupid debate, and yet that's actually what happened. Like Facebook actually prevented me from calling her a bitch as a joke.
Wow.
But she wrote, "You're an asshole,"
and that went through.
No problem.
Yeah.
And so I'm going, okay, so what are you doing at Facebook where you flagged my comment and not hers?
I wonder if Facebook, the algorithm for finding these offensive words or phrases or things like that, is different in different locations.
I would say so, because I would say if you're in
Sri Lanka,
which is what we learned in that documentary, right?
Yeah.
Depends on where you are. Your Google searches come up wherever you are.
have you seen Social Dilemma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
So good. So
Yeah.
so
Right.
I'm guessing like if you're gonna attack somebody in a place where they're, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But basically if you're in a location, let's say you're in a red state,
Yeah.
right? And they're trying to control.
Let's be unbiased and let's use India.
Okay, India. I don't know anything about India.
Let's
I
say-
barely know anything about Canada.
No, we're
So it doesn't
Let's
work.
say you're calling someone a towelhead there.
Okay. All right. Do they?
No,
work?
but you see the point.
That would be okay.
It's perfectly executed.
Yeah.
Should be censoring people if there's right.
Yeah.
I just don't know why
So-
they try to. I mean, yeah, I don't know why they get too much involved.
Like, I get
Yeah.
it. Like, Trump lies all the time, and you know he says all this stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, he can't lie all the time." But then, all politicians lie.
Yeah,
Yeah. Every single one of them.
it's true. Very true. And some of them have been doing it
When she
for
was against him,
years, and still.
this is like their job. Like Kamala Harris in the primaries was calling Joe Biden a racist. Right? She had that whole story. That little girl was me. All this stuff. And now she's the VP candidate. And now it's fine. No, Joe Biden's not a racist anymore. He was a year ago. He was a racist,
Well,
and I had to cry and make T-shirts. But now that I actually
want
can
T-shirts.
benefit, he's not a racist anymore.
It's all politics. It's all bullshit.
It is.
It's all bullshit.
It is.
That's what it should be called instead of politics. Bullshit.
Do you know her origin story of getting into politics? Have you heard of the rumor or no?
You mean like basically she had an affair with that guy?
Yeah,
like,
she
got
had
her all these jobs?
basically had like a sugar daddy who got her into politics, and she escalated from there.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Do you believe that story? Do you think that's plausible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. But I don't think that it's unique. I think that they're all doing. Look, so here's the thing. I used to work for one of the political parties in Canada in my 20s, and then I quit as soon as I realized that they're all the same, right?
Okay.
It's just, I think if you're doing that, like that's your career, like you want to move up the politics game, it's like you're basically just looking for power and money, and you're willing to do and say anything to get it.
Yep.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I think the kinds of people are attracted to
Yeah.
do and say anything to get to the top.
Yep.
So
So true.
here is how naive and arrogant Americans are, or at least I am. What are the parties in Canada? Like the Maple Leafs and the Blue Jays, or like what is it?
The Raptors.
Well, don't forget the Raptors.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I knew that one. I got that one right.
Well,
the dominant
what
political
are
party.
the so what are the political parties?
And the Drakes.
So, okay, well, I mean, we can really get. I mean, I actually love talking about politics, but I didn't want to derail all this comedy podcast is hilarious.
Wow, this is so much fun.
Analysis of politics.
I mean,
internationally.
but we're giving like a lighthearted side of it. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
curious now at this
Oh, yeah, me
point.
too.
Canada's actually really interesting politically, and I actually think that the U.S. could benefit by emulating what we do because we have a 3-party system. So
Okay.
the
I like
problems
that.
that persist in the U.S. would never happen in Canada.
Nope.
Just because there's 3 parties, right? So you would never have one party against another because anytime that happens in Canada, the third party just comes up the middle and kind of takes a bit from this side and a bit from this side, and then everybody goes to them. So we have, instead of the Republicans, right, they're just called the Conservatives. I think they're now called the Progressive Conservatives. They keep changing the name. But basically, we have the right as well.
The Maple
And
Leafs,
then we have the Liberal Party, which is
the Blue Jays.
the Blue. Well, basically the Raptors because they're in
Raptors.
power now.
Oh,
Yeah.
But it's minority government, so and that's another thing that happened in the U.S. Minority government in Canada, which is the situation right now, where you have one party that has the most votes, but they need another party to be in a perpetual coalition with them in order to rule. So they're constantly compromising, or the government falls, and now you have to have another election.
Oh shit!
Isn't it good though to like compromise on things?
Yeah. So that's
I think
what's
yeah.
about having a 3-party system, right? Because I actually think that both the Republicans and the Democrats make some really good points, but they're too busy trying to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no position in the middle. You could be like, well, I like Trump. What the Democrats are saying on race, like, can't we have that does both of those things?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's Canada, right?
Wow. Yeah, I think you guys got it going good there.
Yeah, I think
Time
we
to
need
move.
Yeah,
Time
it's
to
time
move.
Yeah, the
Come
only
up.
problem
Lots of
with
Korean food.
the only problem with Canada is winter.
Oh
That's the only
yeah.
thing I
Yes.
can't do.
Yeah.
So how can? Well, I can do dual citizenship, right? Like
You could. Yeah, you have to have 2 places, right? Is that how that
You know, a
works?
lot of people do that here. They spend 6 months of the year in Florida, and then
Or
they come
here.
back up here.
A lot of
when
them
it's
come
warm.
here.
Oh, I don't
We
know
have-
if I could spend 6 months in Florida.
We have a
either.
big Canada
Yeah.
following here. Like there's a lot of places here that actually
The
have.
snowbirds.
That's what they call them, snowbirds.
Yeah.
We have a lot of
Yeah.
Canada flags throughout the valley, where they're like the Arizona flag, the U.S. flag, and then the Canada flag.
I honestly
It's
thought
like-
that was a maple leaf.
I'm like, huh, that's weird.
Look, the winter sucks, but I mean, there's a lot of states in the U.S. that also, have shitty winters.
Very true. That's why we don't live there.
So we've been pretty selfish so far on this podcast, talking
have?
about everything else but what you have going on.
Yes, tell us.
So you have, you just mentioned it on Prime, The Market, and this is based
Yeah.
off of Wall Street.
Yeah, so basically it's sort of like a gangster movie about Wall Street bond traders.
oh god.
Oh, like The Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, so it's funny because I wrote my play, and it was actually a big hit in Toronto, and then 6 months later, Martin Scorsese announced his new film project, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, jerk.
Although, to be honest, I really do think that my script holds up. I mean, I don't have Leo DiCaprio, but it's, I've been a pretty accomplished playwright here in Canada for 2 decades, and The Market's my best play.
Okay.
So, amazing testimonials. So, guys, if you ever get a chance, if you have Prime,
Oh,
Amazon
yeah.
Prime the US, check out The Market.
I'm gonna check it out because you already sold me on it because I love investor stuff,
Yeah.
like money stuff.
He loves Leonardo
Yeah.
DiCaprio.
And
And I've had
DiCaprio.
50
I love what
people from the finance industry tell me that it's exactly right. Like the dialogue is perfect. Like I did a lot of research. It's the most vulgar Canadian film ever made.
Oh, awesome!
It's the most politically incorrect Canadian film ever made.
So,
I'm sold.
So 42 buddies are said throughout the whole thing. Like, come on, buddy. Sorry, that was me.
Oh no, dude! It's really it's bad. It's really bad. Like got in trouble on Facebook because when the characters drops the N bomb,
Oh,
Ooh.
like every bomb is dropped, right? Like they're misogynistic, racist, homophobic, like every. And I do not hold back. Like it's vicious.
well, that's Wall Street for you.
But it's exactly how they speak.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I've also elevated the gangster movie.
Man, yeah.
So it's kind of Glenn Ross with guns.
Oh, you ever seen that?
Yes.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm about to check that
Yeah,
out.
so Canadians are deeply offended by my movie, and then Americans are like, "Oh, that was pretty good."
Is that the movie you were talking about earlier that they were mad at you about being offended, or that you?
Oh
offended?
yeah, because like if you say, like some people like, they probably use the F word. Market.
Wow.
Like it's so beyond what's sort of accessible in Canada. They wouldn't even show it.
Wow.
And yet now we have such a growing audience, and especially in the United States, and people are like, "This is awesome."
That's
We
awesome.
don't have films like that here. Right? Like, government funds all the movies. We don't want anything offensive.
How much cocaine is in it?
A lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you hear about what Oregon just did?
Oh yeah, that's close to you, right? That's close to where Toronto is, right?
No, it's
I know. I'm fucking with you.
we're closer.
I
to
know.
that
I know.
than-
I know.
Jesus,
I'm telling you how the maps are all fucked up.
we can't pass a geography test. That's
No, I know. But go ahead and tell them what happened in Oregon. Just passed.
Yeah, what?
Oregon, the state of Oregon in the United States just recently decriminalized cocaine and heroin.
Wow.
So now you don't have to
I'm
go.
moving there.
Now you don't have to go
Boys,
to. Now you don't have to go
we
to
gotta go.
Amsterdam. You can just go there.
The funniest comment I've seen so far is like, wait, did Oregon just become the Amsterdam of the United States?
Yep.
Right. Like, what's the thinking? Like, I understand, like, people want to be progressive, but like,
Yeah,
this
that's
is this whole
crazy.
defund the police thing. I just go,
Yeah.
guys, do we really think it's a good idea? Let's just not have police. That'll make the world safer. Like,
No.
I don't
Really?
That's
so
dumb.
and that's the thing too. That's where people are getting the message wrong. And maybe they shouldn't have called it defund the police, but basically they're trying to replace some of the police officer situation with social workers, with AA essentially, or drugs anonymous type people, so cops
Well,
can go
then-
and fight.
Then I don't know if that was the media or how they
I mean,
portrayed it.
I've
Yeah,
heard
they
people in
screwed that up.
Toronto abolish the police. They remove the ambiguity of, it's not reform, it's like abolish.
People
Yeah,
in Toronto were
like-
saying that.
In Toronto, this is in Toronto.
What the?
Like, honestly, I think that police should be fighting crime, right?
Yeah.
And then if we have people that are getting locked up for heroin abuse, right? Not trafficking the drugs, but
Yeah.
the ones that are taking it, they should be sent to, or not sent to, but they should be working with the social worker
I would agree.
to try to get off of the rehabilitation.
Yeah,
That's
look,
my-
I agree with
that's
all
my-
these things. I just
It
think
just.
if you have a state where now everyone can just do any drug
Go
ever,
there. Go there.
do you think that bad things aren't going to happen now?
No, I honestly think that Vegas should be one-upping Oregon at this point. They should be like, what the fuck? Why are we not on this already?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then, you know what's funny is that if you do that, you know, we were making all the mob jokes, but you probably piss off the mafia, right? Because now you're taking money out of the pockets of the mobs that have been running the drug game for how many decades,
That's
right?
true.
I mean, they're already doing that with the weed, but at this point, yeah, we would be pissing off the cartels for sure.
Yeah.
Well, they're not making their money off the weed. I mean, they're making their money off the hard stuff.
Yeah.
That's true.
You didn't hear that from me, though, boys.
Ah!
Because you're connected. Connected.
All right.
Bobby's
Okay.
connected.
I can
Hey,
only...
it's Bobby D. I'll come to Arizona. I'll find you. You pay me. Sorry, guys. I just watched The Sopranos during COVID, so it's a
Me
little
too.
fresh.
Well,
in my
I watched
mind.
it. I watched it right before COVID.
I need to start watching that all over again. What
I watched them all.
you've
Best
seen?
show ever.
You've
The
seen the
fucking
entire
best-
thing, right?
It is.
Say it again.
You've seen the entire thing, right?
I watched all of. I binged the whole motherfucker in like 3 weeks. I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
I loved it.
How? What did you think of the ending?
Well, okay. By the ending, do you mean the final?
Spoiler.
moment?
Shh. No, I'm just fucking
The
with you.
final
Guys.
scene.
I won't spoil-
Yeah, the
No,
final
go ahead.
scene.
I thought
You
the
can- it's like 20 years ago.
I
Is
mean,
it?
I
Something like that.
so I'm also obviously a writer.
Yeah.
So I think I knew what he was going for. I mean,
Was he leaving it open?
yeah, of course. I mean,
Okay.
I don't want. It's not really a spoiler, but I can talk about. I'll say what I think.
Yes, please.
I
Yeah.
think that he purposely ended the entire series on sort of anticlimax because he wanted to reinforce the idea that every moment in Tony Soprano's life is a possible crescendo, and that would persist for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think not to spoil whatever. My
Go ahead.
thoughts are, it kind of left you either way. Like, yeah, it was either a happy ending or he possibly, they could have all died.
He got killed off.
You know what I mean? So it could have been either way. You don't know because it just went black, but that's the non-writer.
Yeah, it's not really like a spoiler. It's because it doesn't reveal any plot. It's more structural. But I think the idea was that you could write in season 6 of The Sopranos, in my opinion, now is the best season of any television series in the history of television. I mean, you had David Chase who created it, plus you had Matthew Weiner who created Mad Men, and Terrence Winter who created Boardwalk Empire, basically write every episode of season 6.
Wow.
True.
A lot of good shows.
I mean, it's just it's just gold. And then you'd have fucking Matthew Weiner and Terrence Winter writing together, and it's just like gold.
Yeah.
Wiener Winter.
Winter. Winter is Wiener.
That's Winter in my house.
Red Ramblings, one of our podcast friends on Instagram, he goes, he jumps back to our talk about Oregon and their legalizing. He says, legalize shit, tax it, put that money to good use.
Yeah. I just think that here's a crazy or possibly silver lining, right? If you have a problem or you're just really big into those types of drugs, you have a place now. Like, you have a nice little haven you can go to, and you can go.
I just came up with a conspiracy theory.
Go.
I love it. Let's go.
Okay, here it is. The whole world is reeling, right? So in Canada right now, we usually have a deficit of about 40 billion, and right now I think we're at like 500 billion for this year alone because of COVID, right? So every government's getting fucked because jobs are down, right? So the government needs money. Well, people get money, subsidize the illegal drug industry.
Wow.
And take some of that, right? You're essentially competing against the underground economy. You're taking money out of the mafia's pockets and putting it into yours.
That is very true.
Boom!
To put it in millennial terms, you're basically making Bitcoin a legal tender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, if you think about, the power, the money that's involved in the drugs.
And then you take it from an 80s standpoint and you say that the war on drugs has lost.
Yeah.
And now drugs have won, if you think about it. Because we've been throwing money
in Oregon,
trying to fight it.
Oregon's one of those states where they've had a lot of shit down, right? I mean, there's been a lot of damage in that city, so it just seems like, there's a quick way to get some money back.
I want to say self-inflicted, but yeah.
It is.
It's crazy.
Self-inflicted. Have you guys ever been to Oregon?
I have not. It's right by you,
no,
right,
but
Bobby?
I'm going now.
So I've actually said this story on the podcast before, but Oregon, Portland specifically is one of my favorite places to visit. I have a friend that lives there, an old roommate. I moved there, 6-7 years ago or something like that. And I would go every so often to visit him, at least like once a year, up until recently. And one time I ended up coming up for a weekend. His brother was living there at the time as well, and we decided to go out to drink while he was my friend was still at work. We were waiting for him to get off of work. And so we're at the bar, we're hanging out, and the next thing I'm like, hey, what would be awesome right now is if we had some, we're sitting there drinking. I'm like, if we had some cocaine. Out of nowhere, this guy in a blouse, dressed like Disco Stew almost.
Nice.
Whoa.
Comes and he's all like, did one of you say you need cocaine?
Wow. He's like a Portland cocaine fairy.
He
Just
like,
fucking
I was
dropped
gonna
out of
say, the
nowhere.
fucking cocaine fairy rolls up.
Literally, he probably had rollerblades on. Fucking
You
disco.
said the magic word.
Yeah. You someone say cocaine?
we're like, oh, we were only joking.
Yeah. No. Sure.
Yeah. Are you a cop?
You have to tell me, right?
Yeah. You have to say something. But it's a funny story because now this is
Yeah.
legal.
Now,
and,
now you can do anything there.
and the first thing, as soon as I heard that this is legal and you can, cocaine's free game at this point, that's the first thing I thought of. Like, oh my God, I had this moment there.
Yeah.
And did you know that Portland is the capital of the most strip clubs per capita
You sure
in
about
the
that?
United States? Yes, I am.
'Cause
Why do I not live in Portland?
Tampa had the most strip clubs.
Per
So-
capita, though?
I don't know if that's the case then, but I know Tampa Bay had the most strip clubs in America. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I know you went there for
Look,
training.
it would
yeah.
make
Yeah,
sense
so
if
I
you're
know.
going to sell those drugs. I mean, you got all these strip clubs. I mean, they kind of go hand in hand.
Very true.
That's
Very
what I
true.
said. That's what I
Yeah.
said. I'm like, oh, Portland, we have the most strip clubs per capita.
Yep.
Hey, you know what would go great with this? Cocaine.
Everything that we just
Look,
legalized.
if you're selling lots of coffee, don't be surprised there's a lot of fucking donut shops popping up. You know what I
Does
mean?
True.
Starbucks take a dip in Portland because of this?
But that's Washington, or they probably have some in Portland. What do you mean?
Yeah,
It's a
maybe.
national- it's a national chain. so-
Oh, you gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha.
The Bikini
You know what's
Coffee
funny?
Place.
I wonder
does
if it
take
actually decreases crime because, crime is going to go
Well-
where the drugs are illegal because that's where they make their dough. So if it's legal, it's like, well, we're not making
That's-
money here. We might as well go somewhere else.
That's where it's going to be like the good experiment, right? Like if this, we'll see how this plays out,
Yeah.
and then see where either it trickles other places or it's just going to become a shit show.
We're
in Portland
the
or
safest
Oregon.
state in the United States.
Yeah, just come here, get high, go to sleep. You might make it home. Portland,
Wait.
Oregon.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
just go-
heroin, yeah.
Just
okay.
come here and
I
sleep.
was like, hold on a second. I'm still
Oh
on
wait,
the
yeah,
cocaine side.
yeah. If you're on that side, this splits the whole fucking state. You got one side where you're fucking sleeping all the time. The other side
Right.
is just fucking up all
Wired.
night, just having a blast.
They're working the stock
'Cause,
market
I mean, isn't
on a
that-
regular basis.
Isn't that what laws are for? Like, laws are there to incentivize behavior. So, you know what I mean? It's like the reason that there's people go to jail or get killed for murder is so that they stop murdering.
Yeah.
Do you know what
yeah,
I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's scary.
It's not because it's like wrong. It's like people, if you're driving and somebody doesn't signal, you want to fucking murder them. It's like if you got a quarter every time you murder somebody, it's like we'd have 5 people left in the world in like a week.
That's true. A lot of rolls of quarters.
So Red said he's not sure about legalizing the hard stuff, but shrooms and weed. It's free
Well,
game.
it's already passed in Oregon for that.
Well, I don't know if you noticed too. Like
There
a lot
was-
of other states
did
have,
mushrooms.
yeah, they
Yeah,
they legalized microdosing.
Yeah, a lot of states actually approved you can do mushrooms now. So really, their whole country has turned into a fucking.
That's what I'm saying. The
It's
United
turned
States
to-
is
it's-
turning
it's
into the
turned-
fun place
it's turned-
now.
it's
Like,
turned-
why not?
It's turned into one big ass drug dose, which we were already there with all the pharmaceuticals.
We are.
But now
This
that
depends where you go. So, like, man, do whatever. It's fine. And you go to other states, and it's like, did you talk to her? And they like cut off your dick or something. Like,
yeah,
this must be very
I think-
confusing. Very different kinds of people in the U.S.
how's,
Definitely Pennsylvania. That
how's
would.
how's the pharmaceutical game there? As far as like, do you guys like every commercial? Like every 3 commercials here
Is a Viagra
is
commercial.
well, it's a pharmaceutical for something, right? There's always something wrong with somebody. And there's
AstraZeneca.
always something. Do you guys have tons of those there in Canada where you guys are constantly
Not
getting...
not at all. 'Cause we have
really?
we have free health care.
Oh, so they
that's
don't.
right,
yeah,
yeah.
so it's all about pushing the
It's
drugs
not
on
about
us.
profits there.
Yeah, it's all-
it's true.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
So there's still like you still have to pay for some pharmaceuticals depending on like what they are. Like you pay, but it's subsidized.
Right.
But the healthcare is free. And this is the thing about the U.S. because things like that, where it's like I've just heard all these stories like you get cancer and then you have to sell your house in the U.S. It's like there are all these businesses that are in the business of like getting you sick and then taking care of you once you get sick. Where in Canada, because it's free healthcare, no one's really making money off you getting sick. We'd rather you didn't get sick because then you don't contribute to the lines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's how it should be.
That you bring that up, and there was a period of time where, and this kind of got me onto like a universal health care or some type of universal insurance for every United States person on a as something we should have. Is a few years ago, we got myself, my wife, my family essentially got into a car accident while we were in California. My wife shattered her wrist.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And as we come back to Arizona, we get the bills from everything in California. You're talking about, I had insurance at the time, so insurance should cover a lot of this, but still thousands and thousands of dollars of bills coming up.
Oh, no.
And then I took her to a specialist here in Arizona to fix her wrist. And, very good guy. We basically did like an interview, like, hey, what type of work you do, yada, yada, yada. And still, the insurance would only cover a portion of it. And we're coming out of pocket, and I'm not talking like a couple $1,000s. I'm like, I don't know if they charge a certain premium of like, okay, well, we know the insurance is at least going to cover this, but then we know these guys are stuck with X bill. But I mean, you're talking about this is before I was like even an underwriter at Chase. Like this was like big money at the time.
Yeah.
To where, okay, I have to go get a $20,000 credit card to make sure my wife can get a surgery. Like it's ridiculous.
Man. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's years ago.
Yeah,
but
years ago.
Basically, it's
she's dead now.
Yeah,
so don't worry about it.
It fixed itself.
Yeah.
So
is that a joke? Is that a joke? Or?
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh, welcome to American comedy.
I didn't know if I should add to that or
you can do. Yeah, it's
that was so awkward for me. I was like, oh,
that's
yeah?
good. Sorry.
Congrats.
I am going to be murdered as soon as I get home.
Oh yeah,
but either way, it's fine. Yeah.
Listen,
so someone's dying at least tonight.
Look, I originally studied economics at the University of Toronto, which is one of the best universities here in Toronto.
Fancy.
And in the country, right?
Yeah, in the world.
And then I transferred to theater and then devoted my life to poverty. So that was a good call. Good call, Bobby.
Nice.
Well, you started a podcast, so you're making millions of lint hair pennies.
Yes.
Exactly. But I will say, in the study of economics, it's all about incentives for human behavior. So the problem is that I think you have this for-profit medical industry.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know if people are fucking lying or not? Because it's like, if they're making dough off fucking dicking you around and charging you all this shit and giving you all, like, it's like go buy a car and how many things are they? Get this new paint and get this thing. It's like they're always going to try and
we got this clear coat.
Wow. God, I think I'm moving to Canada. I have to sell my house. I haven't moved into yet.
Where is it warm and
we'll do the 6-month thing.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, we'll just buy a whole bunch of land up there and we'll get 2 places.
When you leave Canada, like to go travel, do you have to get special insurance or approved for special insurance? Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, they won't pay abroad.
Well, what if you're a dual citizen?
What if it's a dude?
A dude? What do you mean?
First of all, we can't even leave the country for the next 10 years. So, thanks, China.
Yeah, China.
That's
China.
But I don't internationally so often, but I definitely know people who, like, if you get in and you go to a hospital in the U.S. and you're traveling, if you don't have the right insurance, it's like you're paying for that shit. And even then, I don't know what the rules are. Like with you, right? You had insurance, but if you're like out of state, then, depending on what it is, now you have to pay all these extra costs. And look, I just think it's very simple. It's like when people want to fuck,
they're gonna fuck you. Yeah.
tough, right? Because when people,
Yeah.
when you set up rules where people can like take it, full life, they'll do it. That's actually what my movie's about. On Amazon Prime, The Market.
I'm gonna watch it. You already sold me. I can't wait to see it.
You know, and we got to apologize too because we have to apologize. Normally, when we have a guest on, we watch like their most recent or hit. Of a show.
And then we can kind of touch on it. And it's been a weird couple weeks for us.
Yes,
just to say. But
it's fine. I just hate you both. It's not a big deal.
No. We love you. So that's a weird twist.
Clearly, you don't know me. So. That's your
don't
first
don't worry. I'm gonna get on Facebook and say "fuck you" when you say something next. So.
Yeah, the next time you call us a bitch.
I love you guys. Go
fuck yourself. Come on.
But you brought up the market. Well, we talked about the market.
We should also talk about Trish.
Yes, that's what. So
we had Trish on. If I don't know.
Oh yeah, Trish is great.
Yeah, so we had her on a couple months ago during the whole. Well, I guess we're still in fucking COVID, but we had her on a couple months ago when it first was fresh in the.
So
COVID world.
You said that you co-produced Milk, which we haven't seen that either, but
but no,
good.
No, it was great. It was great.
This is the least professional interview I've ever done.
Don't worry,
you're welcome.
Which is why it's my favorite.
Don't worry.
Hey, Bobby, how did promoting your movie? Oh, it was great. We talked about
nothing
and Portland and.
Oh no, we didn't get this.
I heard about that for 45 minutes.
10 minutes, probably. He did dwell on that too much.
The full hour was devoted to his wife's wrist. That moved me. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thanks for us. Shit.
This is what our podcast is about, though.
Anyways, Trish was awesome when she was on. And, and she had a great time. And we're happy you're on, obviously. But yeah, we do. I want to see the market. I'm going to see the market. I promise you.
Yeah.
And the milk had several accommodations.
My big question is, do you have any juicy information about Trish while you co-produced and started this?
Yes, we've slept together.
Yes. Thank you. Yes,
that's what we're looking for.
I've not slept with Trish. You know, it's funny. I say that because
I'm totally taking that out of context.
Trish and I were dating.
You guys were dating?
People thought Trish and I were dating because we did this short film. We played a couple.
Yeah.
And then we did this. We just anything, right? Instagram. We did a photo shoot, and it's like us as a couple because it's about a couple.
Well, even isn't like the cover art of this movie is you two like
almost
looking
kissing,
over,
like almost kissing. It seems like too.
Yeah, kind of.
No?
I mean,
it's pretty close.
It's over. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah,
I've heard comments. People are like, "Oh, how's your softcore going with Trish?" I was like, it's just whatever. It's about a couple. And also, like, we played a couple on this web series.
On hers?
My roommate's an escort that she co-wrote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which we have. I've seen a couple of those episodes.
Stop that. No.
At least I watched something.
Stop it. Don't. No, because then
we're just friends and actors, right? So, but it's so funny because I've been an actor for 20 years. But people see me and Trish in photos where we're a couple, and then my friends in the industry are like, "Oh, are you guys a couple?" And I'm like, you know, it's acting, right? Like if I play a pedophile, I don't go fuck 1,000 children. You know what I mean?
That's true. That went very dark.
Maybe like 10 children, max.
Working the craft, I guess.
Yes. Max.
Yeah.
Just to get the character down.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. You gotta get. Yeah.
No, I was surprised. It's like we're just playing a couple stories. I mean, you know, it was. Like I wanted her that opportunity, so I said, "Hey, why don't I produce your directorial debut?" And she's, "Oh my God, that's so nice. You play this role." And it was actually the script was written based on a conversation she had with a friend of ours that passed away. So it was to honor him. And then I don't know. Somehow now Trish and I are getting married.
Congrats, man! Can't wait.
When's the wedding?
Yeah, we're gonna be there.
Yeah, I think we're invited.
Yeah,
of course. We got the
we know both you guys.
Yeah.
I think
you're both bridesmaids.
Of course.
Yes, exactly.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. That's us. You got it.
All right, we'll all get married. We'll do like a 4-way.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I like how this is going.
This has turned really cool.
That's how we do it in Canada.
That's why we're moving.
Swinger wedding.
That's why we're gonna move. You sold us again.
You know, it's funny.
The healthcare.
I am
the
joking.
swinging.
Yet I do think that, and I've said this, once COVID is over and quarantine and lockdowns are over, it's going to be orgies all the time.
I totally thought you were going to say Trish was a swinger.
No.
Did you call her Rain
Not
One?
yet, but everyone will be. People are so deprived of touch that I just think everyone's going to be like touching and sucking and licking at each other like all the time when this shit is done.
It's probably true.
I honestly think that Arizona is going to be the most ultra conservative to his theory because coronavirus didn't exist here.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
It did, but most people didn't believe it was a real thing, so they just continued to do what they regularly did.
That's true.
Really? For how long?
I think it's still going on.
Yeah, I mean it's not
It really hasn't.
If you walk outside right now and ask somebody about coronavirus, and it'd be like get away. I mean, people do the mask thing because the big box stores and things like that require it, but beyond that, it doesn't exist.
It's kind of business as usual.
BAU.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is here for the most part.
People are terrified in Canada. Like, we're such a compliant society.
Yeah, here it's like that. Like, I mean, you see all the memes and the things on Facebook where people are flipping out because you can't tell me to put on a mask. Those people are, kind of screwing things up for
taking my rights away.
Yeah, those people are the crazy ones.
There's 3 people in the U.S. So, I'll see like 13 people freaking out, but I'm like, there's 338 million people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's
why I don't know what to believe about the U.S. because I get all this information from the media, but I don't really know what's happening there.
Oh, you know what you should do?
Come visit. Come stay with us.
Follow the Amigos PC, and we will give you the right information.
Oh, yeah, the news that is not so much news.
Hey, man, if I'm down, I'll come hang out.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, come on down.
Yes, yeah.
Mark knows all the barbecue places. What was the place? What were you guys talking about earlier? The food?
Oh,
Korean barbecue.
Yeah, it'll take you all the Korean barbecue.
All the Korean McDonald's that you
guys want
in
Arizona.
I will take you to the McRib.
Yep. December 2nd, it's coming back.
The authentic McRib?
Yeah, the McRib.
The authentic one.
The Mc
That was my nickname in high school.
It was McRib. Nice. Well, it's got the Italian there. Well, no, that's Irish. That's Irish.
Yeah,
Never mind. Sorry,
Irish.
we got to rework that.
Sorry, we'll make it work.
We'll work on that later.
We'll figure it out.
We'll put a pin in that.
So I was reading some of the stuff though about the market. Is there a conspiracy within this thing?
So you cut out?
Oh, I was reading up on the market though, at least, and is there a conspiracy within the market? Like what? I was reading some.
Well, I don't want to give everything away, but like the central premise about these 4 guys who crashed bond market internationally on purpose to make $12 billion. But the whole thing sort of functions as an allegory, and it's about raw violence that lives inside of men. So it's a very, very intense movie. It kind of merges international economics, just like a really dark, disturbing gangster movie.
Nice.
What are you doing?
I took the headphones out because I didn't want to hear too much because I want to watch it.
Oh,
that's why. So I didn't want to be. I know you were talking.
Well,
you kind of said the same thing that was in the.
He just went on IMDb and he read.
He
the
basically
premises.
read. Yeah, he did basically. But I
haven't even seen the movie. To be honest,
really?
He hasn't even seen it yet.
Like, what is it?
You had to have seen it.
Another finance.
Unless are you like an artist in a sense where you don't want to see your work? Maybe like you do it and you're like, oh, I don't want to see it.
Dude, I directed the fucking movie. I watched the movie. Believe me.
Okay, that's true.
I'm
directed
on
while
set,
it was happening.
Like, don't tell me what happens. Yeah.
Action. Director number 2.
I don't want to know. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Was it a good movie? Your assistant handled the whole thing. Tell me if it was good or not.
No one will tell me.
Well, it's doing really well, based on. the IMDb score.
Did you have buffer girls or boys? I don't want to
discriminate.
It's a low budget film, so that was me. I just fluffed everybody.
Oh, nice. Got them already. Nice.
Makeup.
Yeah. I can't wait.
That's a keyword for blowjob.
Is it? I didn't know if that was true or not. That'd be a nice change of pace.
Guys, watch the movie because I guarantee that you'll like it. And
I will.
If you don't, then I'll just say that my friend wrote it.
There we go.
Okay, there you go.
And that you didn't watch it at all.
Yeah.
Because you sold me on that.
Is there anything on Netflix that you're watching? Anything that you would make a recommendation to chime into? I know you're about your work.
Binging on?
Yeah, what are you binging? Besides,
well,
Sopranos?
I actually just unsubscribed from Netflix because I've watched pretty much everything there. So now I'm actually watching HBO. So I watched Sopranos for the first time. I loved it. Now I'm actually the first time.
Which one? Sorry, what'd you say?
Game of Thrones. Now I'm watching.
Oh,
have you seen
Game
that?
of Thrones?
Oh man, it's so good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'd never seen it before. I'd never seen The Sopranos. And I watched the whole Lost franchise. I'm watching because I'm a writer, right? So I have all these projects. So I was like, you know what? I have time where I have to stay inside. Why don't I just binge the best TV shows ever made? Because that will help me. It's funny. I mean, it sounds maybe stupid in a way, but when you write as a job, so I also have a movie that I co-wrote that it was supposed for an American make its debut in January, but because of COVID, like stars are not necessarily willing to shoot. So we'll see what happens with that. But essentially, I have to watch the biggest shows in the world because I have to reference them when I talk to people, because now I'm having conversations with people that are like about millions of dollars, right?
Yeah,
very true.
So what is something that you're watching now that you would recommend someone watch?
Like new or old?
New.
Yeah, let's do nude.
Yeah. What are you watching new that's nude?
So I have an OnlyFans account.
Yes.
Nice.
So do the Amigospc.
Yes. Sorry
I do this thing called a flapper.
Ooh, tell me more.
Go on.
To be honest, I've been
you put on 1930s
with contemporary work.
Okay.
So I actually think that if I had to make any recommendations, I would say go and watch these classic franchises, because I don't, it's like people just want the new thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, The Sopranos holds up, man. Lost holds up.
Yeah, it does.
Game of Thrones holds up. Like The Wire holds up. Breaking Bad holds up.
I've never seen The Wire. I had to watch that one.
The Wire is amazing.
Breaking
The Wire
Bad's
was
good.
my favorite TV show ever before I watched The Sopranos.
Really?
And
okay, I need to check that out.
They're not like they're somewhat anachronistic. Like they're somewhat dated, but it's just such quality writing and acting, and that it's funny because The Market actually was my best play that I wrote and produced in 2010. And then the movie was finished around 2016, and then nobody wanted it because it's this offensive, vile piece of shit, according to all these people, right? And then the economy collapses, and my movie is essentially about an economic collapse. So all of a sudden it's relevant again.
Yeah.
And then now people are voracious, like amazing. They're calling it like brilliant, and it's like, oh my God, like deeply like it's like I have like 15 to 20 people just singing my praises, right? So art is a funny thing because it doesn't matter when you make it. It matters like how authentic to the experience and the story it is, and I think that will resonate forever.
I agree with that.
Very true. Yeah.
Like one day we'll be famous. Not
one
today.
Day. No, we are.
One day.
We are. Shh, stop it.
Yeah.
You never know. Like I remember I produced a short film, and there was this young actor who was one of our leads named Aubrey Graham, who was about 18 years old. And 3 years later, he was world famous, and he goes by the name Drake.
Shut up.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aubrey Graham, Drake.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He is pretty famous.
So it's it's like this happens.
Anything happens.
This is
So who do I
People
have to
get
blow
famous.
around here to get famous?
Well, I gotta go. So he's looking for people to blow.
Can you log into my OnlyFans account?
Yeah.
I'll make sure I
Yeah,
record
he's
that.
gonna
That's
definitely do that.
definitely on a paywall. That's for sure.
So let's start to.
Oh, you want? Oh, Scott wants to go home.
No, because I was gonna do this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we haven't done this in a while, but we're doing a trash talk,
Okay.
which I'm just pulling a random question out in here, and you're gonna see your.
Do it.
We're gonna all answer, but I'll let you answer it first since you're the guest. What secret conspiracy do you believe in, or you would like to start?
Conspiracy?
What conspiracy would you like to start, or that you believe in?
I think I mentioned it earlier.
There's really only like 3 people in the whole world that actually have power, and they make fucking 95% of the decisions that affect all of us.
Oh, you believe in like the Illuminati, kind of.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
it's
but I
not the
think it's too
Illuminati,
big.
but it's essentially
like a committee of people that actually rule the
Yeah.
world.
3.
Oh,
Yeah,
3.
so like Stanley Kubrick's last film was Eyes Wide Shut. Did you guys see that film?
Yep.
Yes.
I largely interpreted that to mean, guys, Hollywood is run by this secret society of perverts, dangerous, and they want to kill me. That's how I interpreted the movie.
Huh.
And then 10, 15 years later, Jeffrey Epstein's Island became mainstream knowledge.
Huh.
And then it's so funny because Donald Trump's attacking the Clintons and all this stuff, and then it's like, who was at Epstein's Island? Both Donald Trump and Bill Clinton, multiple times.
I know.
Yeah.
Is it weird that like the records are coming out for the flight logs and they're not saying that Trump's been on a flight log to the island, but he has been on the plane?
Well, it's not weird. I mean, it's what they do.
Yeah.
I just think of it. Okay, so let's say the 3 of us were in charge of the whole world.
Oh God.
But if they were, wouldn't you do that? If I knew,
Yeah. One of us
That,
was in
you know-
trouble. You're gonna hide it.
yeah, like you killed like 10 hookers in the new Portland strip joint,
Nice. Yeah. Of course.
where we're selling
Of course.
cocaine out the back to our grandma's, whatever. Like,
I love where this is going.
Yeah, I love. This is a great story. This is a good movie right here.
I
Are
would
you taking
just
notes?
take the 10 birth certificates of the hookers and fucking burn them for you guys.
And then we got to take. This is gonna go too dark because take the teeth and all the records of them. Well,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You just take them somewhere
Hammer
else.
them into powder and maybe cut the coke with the
Yeah.
teeth powder.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that might
Wow.
be like some new, because I mean there's already a conspiracy theory out there that there are elites eating people to
Yeah.
absorb.
And that's our Oregon.
Yeah. Maybe.
And we just, and that's the secret, is that we cut with the teeth, like the powdered teeth of famous people.
Yeah.
I think the elites are cutting out our internet because we're onto them.
That's probably true.
Hey, sorry guys, there's just a knock at my door. I'm just going to answer that. Hi.
Yeah. Oh no, he's dead.
Sorry, it's just mom.
That damn Canada hitman. Did he say sorry first? Hey, excuse me,
Fine.
buddy. I'm here for some
It's
syrup.
just mom.
Oh, it's mom.
I don't know.
I think it's very simple. Like, power corrupts, and anyone who's in power is going to use that power to do whatever the fuck they want. That's why people seek power.
Very true.
Yes, I agree with that.
100%.
And go watch Sopranos and then Game of Thrones, and it's amazing because it's like almost the exact same show told in very different ways.
So we're all fucking doomed, basically.
We're dead.
Yeah, which one of the Sopranos says, "I drink wine and I know things"?
I don't know.
Well, I must be all of them.
They all drink wine.
I know.
They
Come
all
on.
drink.
It's the Sopranos.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your...
Shit. What's mine? What's yours?
My conspiracy?
Yeah, I have too many, but go ahead. Did you have one off your head that you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, we've talked about it on the show plenty of times.
We have.
We're being listened by the government.
Shh, stop it. Yeah, I know.
That's a legit conspiracy here
That
on
is
the
one.
Amigos.
That is one.
And so when I say as he's thinking, I'm trying to give him some time. When I say that we're being listened by the government, is the Amigos are being listened by the government, not the general population, which I'm sure that is a thing too.
Yeah.
But we had an episode probably like 20 episodes ago where we went into depth of a company downloaded our entire library and continued to download our library. The company is out of Virginia. As soon as you look into this company and who the founders are and who backs it, it's high political powers at B. And could it be a national library? Sure, but why would you library and catalog the Amigos?
Podcast, yeah.
I don't know, but it is a legit thing.
Yeah.
The Amigos are being listened to by the government. By the way,
why?
Yeah, I don't know.
They just want to hear some shit.
They're interested in you.
Yeah.
In
They
you.
wanna, they're trying.
Sorry, guys, I had to rip you there.
They're trying to look into Canada.
Mm-hmm. No, we're one that we'll take it. Like if you're to talk shit about that's perfectly fine. Like we'll take it. But it's just weird.
We're there.
Yeah. We're at that level.
Exactly.
We get your friends only page.
We're
Or
there.
what is it
Fans
called? Whatever.
only.
See,
Only
that just
fans.
shows-
Only
I'm on the
fans,
wrong
that's
Do you
site.
want to see these balls or not?
I'm on the wrong site.
Jeez.
I think that's a real
Friends
thing, though.
only.
Like they continue to download our shit.
They still do?
Yes.
That's creepy. That's
Somebody,
really creepy.
I mean, somebody's doing. I mean, look, fuck, man. All of our smartphones are like,
You know what,
they're
though?
being listened to by the company.
Yeah.
It could be there is one employee at this place that's just sitting there and listening to us on their computer.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, so maybe we have one
Could be
fan
just
that's there.
One listener.
We could have one
at
fan
this
there.
place. I just thought of that too.
But the whole
But that's in
catalog?
the social dilemma too, right? That doc, right? It's like they listen to us for algorithms, and
Yes.
it's like they're using info.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
There you go. Another conspiracy right there.
With like a friend of mine on the phone, and then all of a sudden there's always like fucking pizza ads on Facebook, you know?
Oh, yeah. When they listen to you, yeah. And all the ads, yeah, you're right. Like the ads on the phone, even though you're talking with somebody in the room and then it shows up on the side. That's like, it's crazy.
It's funny because at first I thought you guys were Mexican because I was like, well, what is the Amigospc podcast? I didn't know.
Spick. Did
Yeah,
you see Spick?
yeah, he
Nice.
did.
Spick. I
He
like it.
totally.
I thought that's what that said.
Yeah.
Well, there's a long story there. But so we were the Amigos. We were the
Three Amigos.
we were the 2.5 Amigos,
Yep.
right? So we had another guy here with us who was here a lot, Albert. He was our Mexican counterpart. He eventually just wasn't around as much. And then we rebranded, and it's just me and Mark now, and it's now Amigospc. But it wasn't, I don't know if it was really. We just that was what we fell with as far as
Because when I was growing up, my first production company was called Mexican Productions,
nice,
and I'm not even Mexican.
you could still, you could sell it nicely. Like
Everybody thought I was Mexican.
yeah.
So I just started saying, all right, yeah, fine, I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican. And then they started calling me the Dirty Mexican. So I was like, all right, I'll just call my production.
That's a sex move, though, right?
It's like,
It's the Dirty Sanchez.
Oh, that's what that is.
Sorry, not to give you what that is. That's a dirty.
no, I'm terrible in bed, so I couldn't name my company after sex move. I would just call it like
Failed attempt.
Satisfying me.
Failed attempt.
Production.
Go to sleep.
Premature ejaculation.
Go to sleep.
Productions
Go to sleep
present.
early. Productions.
Premature ejaculation. It's like I'll roll the credits and then just end the movie. People are like, what the fuck? Like,
What was that? God, it ended so quick. Like, thumbs up. At the end. Thanks.
It lasted less than a minute.
that did happen once. I remember. I'm not gonna say who, but it was like I was like such a beautiful girl. I was like, I can't believe I get to be with her, and then it was over, and I was like, oh no, no, like it was like that only, and it was like in her hair and shit, like it was just like what?
And then Trish was like, "This happens all the time,"
and that's where the concept of milk came from. I did I nail it?
You're gonna have to watch the movie.
I got to. I know. I'm sorry that I didn't finish it.
You're gonna have to watch the movie.
And neither did she.
You know what?
She didn't get to finish it either. You finished for her.
Like it could be such a pure title, but I've heard every kind of
course,
joke that you could hear. It's a good one. It's a good joke.
Yeah.
Although if you watch the movie, it's like very different.
Not that. There's no milk shots.
Very different. It's gonna change the way I look at it now. I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, that didn't. I wish that would have happened there.
This is not.
It's a very It's like a sort of a heartfelt, beautiful romance, and now to think of it as about premature ejaculation. I mean,
kind of ruins it.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, we did our job.
We turned it into an 8mm film. Nicolas Cage makes an appearance somewhere. Oh, Jesus.
But, I just so devoid of, like, humor now. It's like everybody's so fucking serious. It just has a big stick up their ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I just think if you're a good person, treat people well, and you can take the piss out of them, It's like they're trying to, like, take the joy of being human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Life is a... What is it? Like, yeah, just live life and fucking laugh about it.
Well, that's why we're here, though.
Live. What is it? The stupid chick.
Laugh,
love. The stupid chick thingies.
Where is that? Is that above?
It's probably somewhere in my house. I'm sure somewhere. It's in a box somewhere currently because I'm in the move situation.
Yeah, right.
But
I think that's my approach to life, man. I just think like it's just like just if you treat people well, like you can have some fun. Like you don't need to fucking watch every single word and opinion that you. There's so many people who are so invested in, like, if you say one thing they don't like, now they're going to try to end your career. It's like,
they're part of the cancel culture. That's
dumb.
Essentially, they feel like they have a justice to serve, and they need to cancel when you say the wrong thing, like pre-ejaculating into Trish Rion's hair on milk.
Good movie, by the way.
Yeah,
hey, let me be clear. It's not Trish. It was not Trish.
Oh, someone else's movie. Oh,
it was a very dissatisfying sexual experience for my partner.
Oh,
who was not Trish.
I was gonna say, if that's a part of the movie, don't ruin the movie for me because I got to watch that one too.
What's his name?
I've dissatisfied all of my partners sexually.
Dissatisfied. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. I once broke my lover's wrist trying to satisfy her. So there you go.
In the car accident? That was weird. Why would you bring that back? But
is that a bad callback?
Yeah, it was a weird. He was satisfying her during the car accident that broke her wrist.
How do you think she broke her wrist?
So no wonder they wouldn't cover it. It was your guys' fault.
No comment. Look, it could be a real compliment for you.
Yeah. What were you doing with that? That's a weird. Was there like wrist?
Whoa, you broke her wrist.
You broke her wrist. Wow,
she was driving.
Multitasker.
Cannot be. The Valerian steel cock,
Oh,
nice. Nice.
Sorry, I'm watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah. You're gonna have those references.
Where are you in Game of Thrones?
I'm about to season finale for season.
Season what?
Yeah.
Which one?
2.
No. Okay, yeah. So you still got a ways to go. I think it ends like 6 or 7.
It's relevant too. Like it's scary.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Season
8.
3.
I think there's 8 seasons.
8.
Yeah,
wow.
Season 3 is the good one, right? Like it's.
I'm gonna have the whole thing watched in a month for sure.
I don't want to say anything, but they're all good until a certain point for me. I'll say that.
What's your favorite?
It's fictional, but
What's your favorite
so
aspect?
relevant.
What's your favorite aspect of the show? Is it
for me to pee?
the White Walkers? Is it? Yeah, go ahead. The White Walkers.
You know
is
what
it
it is?
the politics? Like, what is your aspect of it?
So from the beginning of time,
What the fuck just happened?
watching Game of Thrones really helps me to contextualize Shakespeare.
Okay.
Were you on the whole time?
No, something happened and it completely blanked out.
Yeah, I noticed. It's like when I have sex with somebody, it's like that's the experience. Is that like I think we're having a good time, but they just completely blank out, and it's very forgettable.
No, it just completely went gone. And I was like, oh, what the fuck just happened? All right, so
Yeah, like when I have sex.
yeah, exactly. What the fuck just happened? So you're sorry if you have to repeat yourself, but what is your favorite aspect of the show?
Okay, so I was going to say I'm a Shakespeare trained actor, right? I went to theater school, did leads in Shakespearean plays in school, and Game of Thrones has helped me to understand Shakespeare even more because it's really human. It's the best writing, and it's about humanity and just really how fucking flawed we are, you know?
Right.
Like, it's really like this power game where it's like survival and you're just trying to like fight a new battle every day just to like live in the world, you know? Like that's what I really get out of Game of Thrones. It's so fucking human. Like it really resonates.
Yeah, no, Game of Thrones is probably one of the best series I've seen in like a long time. Like there are so many good aspects of it. I wish they would have went deeper into. Have you read the book? You've never read the books, have you?
No.
Okay.
No.
As it started progressing into the seasons, I started listening to the books like on Audible.
Mm.
There's just so many layers to this series of Game of Thrones that it's just, if you can't pay attention to one piece of it, you lose a character. Like it's when you listen to the books, Tyrion, even though in the show Tyrion is a huge, like he's a super badass for being, you know, this midget, know-it-all, of power, spoiled little brat. Essentially, he becomes a better character as you keep going on. But in the show, because I don't think that you're at the Battle of Bastards yet, are you?
No.
Okay. So at some point, there's going to be this part in the show, and it's in the more earlier seasons. I don't know if it's season 1 or 2. You say you already finished 2.
It's got to be 3.
It's got to be 3. But Tyrion becomes this super badass in the book with this one war. No, it's the war at the tower.
Are you comparing the books to the movie?
Kind of, now.
You don't read. Oh, you listen to them.
I can't read. I don't
You
even
listen
know
to
words.
them, though,
No,
didn't
I
you?
listen.
Yeah,
I
that's
listen
why.
to them. Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait until the last book. But what I was saying was that there are certain aspects in the show that you're like, the development here in these characters is amazing, but the book, it takes it up that extra notch. Do you have?
Yeah.
So you
but
did
more
it.
time. It's more time.
You did it. So you took the market. It was originally a play, and then you made it a movie. Were there certain things from the play versus the movie that would? I just thought of this question. That were, I wish I would have done that in the movie versus the play, or maybe the
vice
movie
versa.
did something, and you're like, I wish that was in the play.
To be honest, the movie's actually better than the play, and the play was very, very well received. Because, so I did the play, and we did a 3-week run. We did an interesting way where we did it in a corporate office downtown Toronto, where and then we set up seats in this actual office, so it looked like people were actually at an office and all the shit was happening, right? Like it was pretty cool.
Okay.
Oh, that's really cool.
But in theater, it really depends on the night you come, and our actors were actually pretty good, pretty consistent. But like if you came on a day where you got a shitty seat, then all of a sudden you were blocked from seeing somebody's face when you really wish you could have seen their face. So when you do a movie, it's like this is the close up, right? I can control where do you look. Where when you do a play.
What the hell? I hate our internet, dude.
Mm-hmm. We gotta move.
Did it totally just go down altogether?
I don't know.
What is this little notification? I think we're at our limit.
At our limit?
Having trouble connecting. This often caused by unstable internet.
We're at our limit.
No, I'm not saying at our limit. But when you went to the bathroom, everything cut out. Yeah, something went wrong.
That's weird. So I guess bring him back to wind it down, I guess? Or get his thoughts and then wind it down?
Well, if we can even get back in.
Yeah, we gotta move to a more designated, awesome internet situation.
Can't even do a show for an hour and 45 minutes. I wonder if... And so I have my phone on LTE, so I'm not even on our internet. This can't...
Am I on air?
No internet.
Because if I am...
Do you want me to get off?
This is a very dissatisfying experience for all of you.
Mm-hmm. Is it working?
Just like when I make love. I'm sorry. Do I need a haircut? I feel like I need a haircut.
No.
You just went, what, dude?
Like in general?
Yeah. Oh, it's delayed. Whoa, that's way delayed. Oh, he's still alive. Hold on.
I just shut my computer down. Maybe that helps.
I can't believe he's still there. It's so funny.
He's having fun.
Yeah, right? No, he's there. It's so funny. Oh, shit.
How do you have LTE? I have 5GE.
I don't even know what that fucking means.
I don't know what that means either.
Do you have Verizon?
I have AT&T. Is LTE better than 5GE?
I don't know. No, 5G is 5G.
But I have an E at the end.
I don't know if that
I'm just missing the T.
Thanks for carrying the show.
Is he there?
Yeah, he's there.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, no, we're still there. Nope, we're still just
Buffering?
buffering.
Oh, there we go.
Hello?
Hello?
Thanks for carrying the show.
Was I?
So, the podcast got everything you just said.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. The video cut out, but everything you said was
I said
going.
that you.
Nice. If you guys are still there. That's all right. We're going to keep it.
It hurts.
No, we like it. It's good.
It hurts.
I need a haircut. So we're still on AOL dial-up in our studio.
We're going to be moving soon.
I was like, well, like, is it worth?
No, it's still not working.
Be the Kim Kardashian of the Canadian film industry, you know?
You're going to show your ass everywhere?
You're gonna do
So you got a sex tape or what?
I don't know if anybody wants to. I'm happy to show it.
Nice.
All right, well.
But I was just saying, like, writing a novel about the market would have been.
This has been the Amigos PC. Make sure to like, subscribe, and review us on all your podcasting platforms. Visit us at amigospc.net for our entire library of content and Amigos merch. Till next time, adios.